Months after a judge found probable cause against convicted sex offender Timothy Vess Benton for a SORNA violation, the case still has not gone before a grand jury. Now, this follows a series of I-team investigations that revealed Benton, convicted of 2 counts of sodomy, was later allowed to serve part of his sentence in Fayette County Community Corrections instead of state prison. As the I-team's Valerie Bell reports, questions remain about what's causing the delay and what happens next.
Months after that October 2025 hearing, the case against Timothy Vess Benton remains in limbo. A judge has already found probable cause for a new charge, a violation of Alabama's Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act. But since then, there's been little movement. No updated court records, and still no grand jury date.
It's just you try to put it on the back burner, you try not to dwell over it too much until it gets closer to time. Like right now, everybody's anticipating it being on the docket, and everybody wants to know what's going to happen next. And it's still up in the air, so we'll get our day in court.
Have you heard anything at all?
I've just heard rumors. That's about all I hear. Nothing's set in stone yet. Hopefully it'll come up in this grand jury.
The case has drawn statewide attention after a series of ABC 3340 I-team investigations. In 2019, Benton pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sodomy and was sentenced to 17 years in prison. Court records show he served just over 5.5 years before his sentence was amended, moving him from prison into the Fayette County Community Corrections Program. That program placed him on house arrest with an ankle monitor. But shortly after, he was arrested again, this time accused of failing to properly register his residence in Fayette County, a SORNA violation. That arrest triggered a new push from prosecutors to send Benton back to prison. The Alabama Attorney General's office has since taken over the case, arguing Benton violated both his sentence and sex offender registration requirements.
I think we were objecting, as the local district attorney did, to the original decision of the trial court to modify the sentence and place him on community correction. We didn't believe with the terms or the circumstances for doing it, and it's why we have the opportunity now to continue to assert, based on the prior conviction and the seriousness of that charge, that Mr. Benton needs to be in prison and not being on in-house custody, basically.
As we previously reported, the judge who signed the order moving Benton into community corrections, Samuel Junkin, later recused himself from the case. So did every other judge in the 24th Judicial Circuit, along with District Attorney Andy Hamlin. While the new charge waits on a Fayette County grand jury, Attorney General Steve Marshall says another decision could come sooner.
We believe that a district judge who had the opportunity to hear the evidence that was presented involving the new charge should be a valid basis for the trial court to be able to act now on that sentencing request that we have, and we'll continue to be able to assert that position before the court.
So that could happen any day now?
It could, depending on when the judge decides to rule.
Still, another question remains.
What's taking so long for this case to reach a grand jury?
Yeah, in rural counties you have limited number of grand jury weeks, and that's similar to the reason why we had the Speedy Trial Act come about, involving many of our rural counties who have very limited criminal time. But again, we've been able to get a probable cause finding with regard to the SORNA violation, which we believe should send a strong message to the judge that is presiding over the case in which he was sentenced previously to go ahead and modify the sentence and put him in prison while the SORNA case is pending.
But for the victim's family, the delay is difficult.
It's long and drawn out to get him sentenced in the first place, so I mean, we was kind of better prepared for it this time.
Christopher Key says they expected the process to take time, but that doesn't make it easier.
It is a weight on your shoulders, but you just can't let it get to you. I mean, we have to carry on with our lives and everything.
The AG's office says supporting victims remains a priority. Key hopes for change to how often a grand jury meets in Fayette County.
It'd be another step towards getting him locked back up. I mean, it's gonna feel good. It's gonna be a relief.
Still, the uncertainty lingers. The Attorney General's office says a judge could still rule at any time on whether Benton should be sent back to prison, even before a grand jury takes up the new charge. And the anticipation builds while the family waits for the next step in the case.
I just gotta let the system do what the system does.
In Fayette County, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 I-Team.
Now, Valerie also reached out to attorney James Stanridge, who is representing Benton. We have not received a response back.